So what I'm seeing with the sensory versus intuition is I think the sensory is more of like, I'm going to lead up to the point.
Yes.
And the end is the other way around. Like, I'm going to start with the point.
Definitely. And that's why, like, what's so hard about it is I think I started really seeing this in the Michael Cremo class, where I'm like, why? What's the point? Why should I listen to this? Why should I care? And you, when you see the intuitive, they're like, okay, so I get the thing that you're talking about. It's something like this. Can you now fill in the facts? I'm guessing it's something like this. It reminds me of this. It's something like this analogy. It's like the time when you were a kid, like they just instantly jump to something that is familiar and like to try and give the entire context of the story.
Right.
Us savior sensors will just, it's like, you know, I know you make fun of it all the time where you're like, it feels like somebody's reading an encyclopedia. It does feel like when you're listening to a sensor report, they're just opening up a dictionary and just reading the dictionary and you're like,
that's how I feel.
What is this about? Like, I listened to all of that sensory and your end conclusion was this. Wow, I feel like mad that I listened to all that because I have no idea. I wasn't invested the whole time. And I wish I was invested the whole time because then I would have cared about the facts that you were telling me. Then I would have had somewhere to place those facts.
Right.
That's what the intuition seems like. It seems like some kind of overarching umbrella to where you're able to then put the facts. Oh, that goes here. Oh, that goes here. Oh, that goes here.
When I'm listening to people, I'm like, you better say in 2 seconds what this is about or I'm gone.
Yeah, right. Because sensory dominant is responsible for the proof. I'm not allowed to give you my guesses unless I tell you how I got there.
Right. So let me write this out real quick, just sloppy style. Let me just start with the intuition first. Like literally let me go backwards first. Like starting with I can't believe I got that.
Oh my God, let me do it.
This fucking keyboard is too small.
I can't watch this. Okay,
starting with the point and working backwards.
Okay.
Parentheses, facts later.
Oh, sure. Look at me, that was so
back
bad.
Weirds. Spell check is fucking on today. What the hell? Holy shit.
Starting with the point of working backwards.
I need to process this. Fucking A.
Come on, help me out. What's the next thing?
What?
Feminine sensory. What was it?
I don't know. Rewind the tape. What did I say?
Working back. Starting with the point of working backwards. There.
Get facts later.
Yeah, facts later.
So yeah, the intuitive is like, let me give you the bottom line, and if you like, remember Zuckerberg in the Congress? He's like, I'll get you later. Like, I'll give you those facts later, and everyone's like, dude, show up with the fucking facts.
I don't believe you.
Right.
And that's the problem with all of the savior intuitives. This is something that I even heard my brother talking about growing up. Like he would get so frustrated because he's like, I don't know how I know. I just know, okay? And like that's the frustration of the savior intuitives is they're like, I know it's right. Here's all of the information. I know it's right. I can't prove it. I fucking can't prove it. And the savior sensory is like, I am never allowed to jump out, say anything outside of what I can prove because now I'm being a bullshitter. And that's where, you know, and then you get air quotes over every single thing that you're scared of saying.
Yes.
Yes, completely.
People like the Myers-Briggs community is like, oh, intuition's better. It's like, yeah, right. You think so, right? But it's like both sides are fucking up the story. It's like the intuitive is like giving you the cookie of like at least I fucking know what we're talking about, but then like I can't then go reproduce that or tell Sally or get it done because shit, you're supposed to give me a bunch of passcodes so I could actually like you said we can get into the locker, but then like you forgot to give me the locker codes.
Oh right.
But you told me we could do it. It can get done. And you started with that point. I'm just using an analogy here that makes sense to me.
Oh my God.
And so it's like the void is on the back end of like, oh my God, I'm so annoyed by the intuition, like the people we work with the website. So like, we can do it. I understand it. You do understand it. The next morning you wake up and your website's not working and they're like, I fucked up the code.
Completely. I fucked up literally the sensory.
I went to the wrong account. Like you literally told the guy, work on the dummy site, not the real site. And then he just went, got it, and ran to the real site and shut that one down. We're like, censor, please.
It didn't even matter how
follow censor.
I spelled it out.
Right. So it's like you get the reward on the front of like this website guy. He's so fun to work with. He gets it in 2 seconds.
He understands it.
The next day, he shits your censor. And you're like, I hate you on the back end. Right. The censors, here we go. I'm going to roll now. Fucking hate you on the front end. Get to the fucking point. If I needed the fucking anthrax codes to get into the I got all the sensor detail. And then at the end, I'm like, this isn't even the problem I'm working on.
That is what's so frustrating.
Michael fucking Cremo, you read all the report. That's not even the question we have. That's not even what we're struggling with.
That's true.
Yet I have all the facts for the wrong conversation. I hate you.
That's so true. That is so accurate. That is so accurate. Oh my God.
Mr. Zuckerberg, I remember well your first visit to Capitol Hill back in 2010. You spoke to the Senate Republican High-Tech Task Force, which I chair. You said back then that Facebook would always be free. Is that still your objective?
Senator, yes. There will always be a version of Facebook that is free. It is our mission to try to help connect everyone around the world and to bring the world closer together. In order to do that, we believe that we need to offer a service that everyone can afford, and we're committed to doing that.
Well, if so, how do you sustain a business model in which users don't pay for your service?
Senator, we run ads.
How do you sustain a business model in which users don't pay for your service? How do you sustain a business model in which users don't pay for your service? How do you sustain a business model? How do you sustain a business model?
Senator, we run ads. Senator, Senator, we run ads.
I see. That's great.